The UES Warhammer has now docked and will be open for tours soon. Attention! The UES Warhammer is now open to the public.
Welcome aboard UEES Warhammer. As part of this year's Invictus celebrations, I'd like to invite you to take a look around and get an up-close look at an active military vessel. Some of the actual crew members have graciously volunteered their time to explain what life is like aboard the ship. I would like to remind you that the entire ship is not available for exploration, so please be respectful of unauthorized areas. Thank you, and enjoy your visit.
Thank you. Just going to take a walk around the ship. Basically, I just want to have another look at the dormitory, the mess hall, and the lavatory system. Forty beds on this side.
Hello, welcome to the UEE Navy. This Javelin class destroyer
Right.
and has been in active service since 2832.
How many toilets are there?
Captain Omar Singh, the ship initially served as a combat support vessel in the Second Fleet, 6th Battle Group, a posting that put it close to the Van Duel front. The Warhammer saw action during the fall of Caliban in 2884. where it
4
was
toilets.
civilian and naval forces when the system ultimately fell, earning a living bout in the process.
6 toilets. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 showers. Now obviously there's 2 dormitories. That's 12 showers.
Hello, welcome to the UES Warhammer.
Just let me just confirm this. How many sinks? 2 sinks. 2 to a sink. That's 4 on this side. 4 sinks. 6 sinks. Are you writing these figures down, little miss, or do you want to start again? Hello?
4 sinks, 6 sinks, 12 showers.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, I'm just going to go into the other dormitory and check all this out, okay?
Javelin class destroyer
You can take over.
by Aegis Dynamics and has been in active service since 2832.
Where's the way out?
And did you say 4 toilets?
I'll start again, little miss. Remember, we've only got half an hour.
This Javelin
1,
class destroyer
6.
was originally built by Aegis
That's
Dynamics
3,
and has been in active service since 2018.
4, 5, 6 toilets. Now remember, everything's got to be doubled, okay? But I've got to go into the other dormitory to find out. But I'm having trouble finding these doors. There. Where's the doors? I hear it, but I can't see it. Oh boy.
Hello, welcome to the UEE Warhammer.
Ah, there it
This
is.
Javelin class destroyer was originally built by Aegis Dynamics and has been in active service since 2832.
This is one dormitory, okay? There's 2 dormitories. So what's on this dormitory should be on the other dormitory. And the dormitory goes straight to the mess hall. I've not got a mental mappage of this thing just yet. If I find the mess hall, it should take me straight to it. The toilets are connected to the dormitory. Now, remember, we focus on the dormitory, not focus on the whole of the ship. Okay, because there will be toilets all over the ship. But we're going to focus on the mess hall and the toilets.
Hi folks, welcome to the Warhammer. I am leading Starman Detmer, and this, as you've probably guessed, is one of the 2 barracks on the ship. And I know, you must be thrilled to see where Navy personnel sleep, and let me be the first to tell you,
Listen to this hot
every
bunking.
bit as exciting as promised.
This
Javelins
will
are
prove there's
pretty
hot
great
bunking on this ship
sleeping arrangements,
of
as
240
they have
people.
Enough bunks for the full crew, which is amazing because it avoids situations known as hot bunking, where you swap out bunks with somebody on the opposite shift, and that is horrible. This one time on my old ship, I had to share with this guy who had just the worst smelling socks. And I'm talking, you know, the military could have weaponized it kind of bad. And I had to try and fall asleep with that every day. So, yeah, after that, these bunks are a dream. And I'm just thinking that, actually, I don't think my CEO would like me talking about how bad hot bunking is. So, maybe just forget I said anything. Anyway, each one has special slots for personal effects, and is capable of sealing you up to give you a little privacy. People are always moving around the barracks. Sleeping schedules shift slightly too, so they can activate the full crew at a moment's notice if the ship enters heavy combat. So you're kind of always sleeping with one eye open. I mean, we get shorter sleep schedules if we are patrolling dangerous space, so I mean, you're already grabbing sleeping with the gang. Sorry, I am rambling. Otherwise, yeah, I'm sure what to tell you. This is where we sleep. Not a whole lot of mystery to it. But I hope this has been enlightening. Please have a look around if you like, but don't put anything in the bunk. Yep.
Right, as you can see, there are 2 sets of toilets. Okay, so that means everything's doubled. Okay, but look at the size. They could do more than this. Okay, but I'll let you take over from here. Look at this.
I do believe there should be at least minimum of 20 sit-down toilets with 2 cubicles of 5 male urinals. And don't forget there are also disabled toilets needed, so anyone with wheelchairs or other disabled apparatus, they can get into toilet without a struggle. And they also need some kind of saniflow system, as we are in space and you don't want those nasty smells of all different things that are done in the toilets to linger. And also remember, toilets can also be broken. Toilets should be metal to reach health and safety regulations. And don't forget, the sit-down toilets may need to be at least 40 if there is allowed to be hot bunking allowed on this ship, as there will be shift changes. If there is hot bunking system on the Javelin, so there will be at least 80 crew on the Javelin at any one time, so there will be 3 shifts, 1 working, 1 sleeping and 1 recreational, so there will be a maximum crew of 240. We have also noticed that the showers are singular and believe they should be communal showers, maybe one for women like they do in the army and wherever else, because this way the crew can shower together at the same time, saving space and having to wait for a shower to become available, and also have sinks enough for each person or 2 people at the same time. So come on, CIG, get more toilets, more showers and more disabled toilets in on these ships, because you never know, the disabled people may be more than there is normal people on the ship. Regular people, I mean, I don't mean normal, because disabled are normal. What I mean regular, like walking crew.
Thank you, little miss. Okay, I'm going to explain it my way. Okay? Right, as you know, the Javelin is actually a military ship. So it's not like a normal public ship like the 890 jump. So obviously there's going to be certain things that's different.
Thrilled to see where Navy personnel sleep, and let me be the first to tell you, it's every bit as exciting as possible.
Okay, sorry about that. Right, basically, I don't know where to start. Now, let's just look at the simple form. It's a military ship, first of all. Okay, and it's supposed to have a crew of 80. Alright, now the first thing I noticed, this is a massive lavatory system, and sorry my words escape me. Okay, right, now because you've got a minimum of 80 crew, okay, you're going to have a mixed crew of male and female. Now when it comes to the toilets, okay, you know, in pubs and stuff like that, they have long toilets where men can stand up and wee, okay, but they're only there for about a couple of minutes. So there should be 2 on here and 2 on the other side as a maximum of 4. That does about 40 people at any one time. Remember, toilets get blocked, so obviously you do need a redundancy of male standing toilets. Okay, now when it comes to sit down bowl toilets, we're going to base it on the maximum of 80 crew. Okay, now you've got 80 people on here, alright, between the 2 dormitories, but because you're using male and female, okay, there should be a minimum of 20 bowl toilets. Remember, when the people use a toilet, they can be in there for about 10 minutes, while I'm in there for about half an hour. It's a 24-hour cycle. Okay, so minimum of 20 bowl toilets, 10 toilets in each dormitory. Remember, toilets break down, so obviously there's going to be a situation where there's going to be queuing up. Now if you're from Manchester, Mr. Chris Roberts, in the early 2000 when the Arndale Centre was built, and if you remember Tandy's, on the other side of the Arndale, they had downstairs toilets where people had to queue for ages to use those toilets. That's where I'm coming from. It doesn't work basically. So like I says, at the end of the day, there should be a minimum of 20 bowl toilets. Remember, them toilets break, so obviously you're going to a minimum of 80 crew and what breaks. Now let's talk about showers. I noticed these showers are separate. Now we go into showers, I mean swimming pools and stuff like that, they have communal toilets where there's 10 to a shower, okay, saving a lot of space. Okay, so basically there should be one big communal shower in here and another communal shower in there of roughly that can hold about 10. Yes, shower is not an important thing, but yes it is, because it comes down to health and hygiene. So as you can see, that will cut down space, also cut down weight. You've also got disabled toilets, because obviously it's a big massive ship. It's a warship. People, we know who that is.
Swap out bunks with somebody on the opposite ship. And
sorry, I don't communicate with bright lights, okay? I know when he's going to go here and walk away, so you have to bear with just looking at the walls for a minute, okay? You'll go away. Those what you call griefers that want, I'm not really helping to build CIG. Where was that, little miss? Right, yeah, disabled toilets. Obviously, as you know, you're going to have disabled toilets at the end of the day for disabled people. Yes, at the end of the day, I know what you're going to have. This, like I says, this is a time of war. Okay, this is a time of war. See, I've been playing this game for a long time. Where was the little miss?
That light is horrible.
I'm not talking about, like, let's get this thing sorted. Forget about him, alright? Let's focus on what we're doing, alright? Now, disabled toilets, as I says in the time, well, like the submarines and stuff, like, people get hurt. There's also that. Has I missed anything else out that's important? Very important. Go through your list and I can go through it in my way, 'cause I've been slightly distracted at the moment, as you can see. My eyes are hurting me.
With disabled toilets, you got
I've
people
done that.
with wheel.
Yeah, I've done that already. There was something else I've missed out. Very important. Just go through the quick chat. We've gone over. Also, sanitary flow toilets. Now, what I mean by sanitary flow toilet, this is a spaceship. Okay, that splish splosh, splish splosh. So obviously these sanitary flow toilets will suck up all the shit into the tanks. I know about it because I had to build my own shop. When it came into self and safety, I had to have things like that in the basement. So basically those go into tanks. All those things will have to be built at the end of the day. Basically, as you can see, everything I'm going to do, I'm going to times it by 2. Showers, as you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 showers. Okay, that's 12. That's a lot of waste space. They could actually have this back part here to hold 10 people. You only need it to hold 10 people on different shifts. Now you've got hot bunking. Okay, as I said, this is speculation on my part. Hot bunking, the ship holds 80. We're not talking about the skippers, we're talking about the crew. Now on a 24-hour cycle, hot bunk of 80 crew, that's times 3, that's 108, 240 people max. Now with 240 people max, as you know, there's going to be 80 people in bed sleeping, so let's count those out. But you've got working crew, okay? you've got the working crew that's manning the ships, and obviously you've got the recreation crew, because remember it's a 24-hour cycle in rotation. So obviously because of that situation, you will need a minimum of 40 bowl toilets. But if that is not essential, remember we do have toilets all over the ship, so yes, they can still have a minimum of 20 toilets to a dormitory, and two wee toilets where the man stand up, and two wee toilets, two wee toilets here and two wee toilets on the other side, okay, and 20 sit down toilets for an 8 on each side, but depending on how they do the men and the women, and one big cubicle shower, okay, that can hold at least 10 people, because you know people go for a shower, they're only usually there for about 10 or 15 minutes, and grooming and all that kind of shit. And also the sinks are very important, because obviously people like to brush their teeth, so obviously to how many toilets you've got or how many showers you've got, you'd need a minimum of 20 sinks for sit down and wash, depending on the situation. Basically it's just something I noticed. This is a big massive space. I like space at the end of the day, but this space is a toilet or a dormitory toilet that has to be reworked out into cubicles, and obviously if CIG goes and gets some floor plans, they can have floor plans to see how the best space can be worked out. I like big space, but this space is wasted. The only reason why I've mentioned this, because obviously us elders within the wartime, I was never in the war, but they know exactly where I'm coming from, U-boats, etc. I've never been in the army, so I wouldn't know, but it's just something that I think they should look at, because remember, these ships cost a lot of money and a lot of time to build, and the people who are building these ships, they get very stressed, and obviously staff disappear, they've got to start all over again. So they've got about a year or 2 years to do and look at this floor plan and see if there is anything that can be done. But also one thing that was missed out, the committee didn't mention, women have to use these cubicle toilets, because obviously they don't want you know them time, oh god, I feel sick. You know where I'm coming from. There's so much factors to take into account when it comes to a crew of this size, basically. So little miss, if you want to go through it again, and obviously they can pick out what I'm trying to say from there. It's not actually a pretty thing that I'd like to do, but I am part of the community of how they build ships, so I do have a say, because I do own one at the end of the day, £3,000 per ship. But it's not just this ship at the end of the day. They're going to be having other ships of this size, and like the Icarus and etc. Please don't class civilian ships like the 890 Jump. Those are public ships at the end of the day, where those are different, but these are for communities, because it's a working environment ship. Yes, it's also the civilians for personal use, but remember it's still a military ship at the end of the day, and they still have to be certain criteria. This ship is 400 years old, so obviously they will not have the modern things of what we would have of today's society, but there are still basic hygiene standards that these ships will have to have, because if those standards are not met, they will have infections and disease. Let's go one step further. I'm a man, okay? Now if they keep these toilets, I ain't gonna pull up no seats. I'm gonna wait. I'm not like I've got women and kids, female in my family, so I'm not allowed to do shit like that. I'm not gonna pull up them seats. I'm just going to mess up them seats. Woman comes and sit down, they're gonna have an infection. It's not humane. That's why you have the stand-up toilets for the men to use, etc. But at the end of the day, the men can use the bowl toilets when they need to do their number 2. The women use them toilets for 2 reasons, obviously. You can see where I'm coming from, because I'm trying to avoid that topics that women have to use. Yes, me as a person, I would like to have separate toilets for male and female, but I don't know how the army do them things at the end of the day, or submarines. So obviously they would have to actually go to people that have been in the army in the olden days, and they can describe them sort of situations. I am not qualified, okay, but I do have experience because building my shop on the health and safety regulation, I was put under some very strict situation, okay. And as you know, I did a little bit on the Mercury some years back, but I had to use the Starfarer as an example when it came to spaces, so I do know what I'm talking about. But explaining it, I'm trying to get all my words out in so many words. But like I said, little Miss is going to explain it all again. It's not all perfect, but it's going to give you a good idea exactly what I'm trying to say and whatnot. Okay, and please, Mr. CIG, please can you sort that light out? I've got my suspicions who did that. I could have actually tonied him, but it wouldn't work because obviously it's a free fly week, and these guys who are causing these situations, okay, it's not new players that's doing this, it's the players in the community using bogus accounts that cannot be traced, okay. But when it's gone, all that rubbish will stop. I know you're aware of that the lights have come back, because I've just seen it and my eyes are streaming, and as you can see, for nearly 5 minutes I had to stand with my back towards the wall. But I've been playing this game for nearly 5 years. I know every trick that these people play, from griefing and all them kind of things, and when I try to say something, I then become the troll. Okay, but I am here to help build a game. I'm not Eva Catty anymore, and these things should not be in the normal spectrum. These things should be private. It's degrading for me to be, and embarrassing for me to say these things, because at the end of the day, we're all there to make this game work. I might not see this game finished. I'm going to be truthful because I'm 60 years of age, but I do have the experience of many years of these kind of things, and anybody in my age generation would understand, and anybody who's in the armed forces, they know exactly what I'm trying to explain. Okay, I'm not a professor, I'm just saying you don't want to make any mistakes, and building these ships is stressful enough. So if I'm making any sense whatsoever, I think you should look into it. But little miss, if you can go through all that again, please. I know you're not going to explain it properly, but at least I will get the gist, and I'll just walk around.
As you saw, there are 6 sinks, 12 showers and 12 toilets. We think there should be at least 20 toilets, sit-down toilets, with 2 cubicles of 5 male urinals. Because as we know, women sit down, men stand up, unless the men are doing blah blah blah. I'm not going to go into that because they have to sit down at some stage. We also need disabled toilets for wheelchair users and other disabled apparatus to be able to get into the toilets, and they need to be wide toilets so they can get into the toilets without a struggle. But they also need to have a Saniflow system so that everything is kept clean and non-smelling and keeps it nice and fresh. And if they're metal ones, this can be cleaned easily rather than the ceramic ones who tend to get broken. Metal is harder to get broken and such like that. So at least 20 sit-down toilets and 2 cubicles of 5 male urinals. So come on, CIG, sort that out. Especially the showers can be a lot better used space, because the showers can have a block of 10 and 10 people can go in there at the same time. And with the actual sit-down toilets, if hot bunking is allowed, there maybe have to be 40 sit-down toilets and a few more extra urinals, because there will be at least 240 people on that ship, 80 working, 80 sleeping and 80 recreational. So we need more showers, more toilets than anything else, so that everyone can get a shower Everyone can go to the toilet if they need be, and there's no waiting in a queue. So you haven't got a queue a mile long waiting for the queue to go to the toilet or to get in a shower. So come on, CRG, get that sorted so everyone can actually keep themselves clean, keep themselves using the toilets and everything else. It'd be a lot better if there was more to be done.
And the most important thing they need to take account, just in case you don't know, the toilets have to be Saniflow toilets, okay? Because remember, it's liquid. This is a ship that's in space. I know you've got weight and stuff like that, but if the power shuts down, like I said, from the toilets, from the sinks, you're going to have splish splosh. You know where I'm coming from. But with Saniflow toilet, they suck everything into one big massive tank and mush. You know where I'm coming from. If they can, please do your research on that and see if there's any truth in the matter, if anything that makes sense. Because remember, we're talking liquids, and these are moving ships in space where there's no gravity. We know you've got life support and gravitational support, but those can shut down. But these things need to be sucked into toilets at the end of the day. And another thing I must take into account, must say, I know you don't want to, when people are using these toilets, you don't want to show any revealing parts. I get it. But let's just give you a little thing. If it's a man, okay? I'm a man, alright? Okay, I'm going to use the toilet. Okay? You're going to have my back turned to the toilet. So yes, you can only summarize what I'm doing at the end of the day, but you can't see what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That's what. Now women, obviously when they go to use the toilets, okay, they go into the cubicles and they shut the doors, so you can't see them. You know where I'm coming from, alright? And then you can keep the game as real as possible. I'm not saying you must do that. I'm just saying at the end of the day, if it helps, and there is an option, I know you've got some very clever guys in there, but just remember, it's not the older generation that's doing this now, that's been there back in the days, okay? Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the older people from 60 onwards when times were difficult. This is a 400-year-old ship. Yes, there'll be new ships coming in of modern times where things will change. But these ships will be just icons of the future of things to come to make things a lot easier at the end of the day. So, I don't think there's anything I want to say on that. Usually I do videos for 4 or 5 hours. Okay, but this one is something I think you should look at, and if it does help, I'm glad to be of service. But like I said, I don't want to even talk anymore, because thinking about women's and them, you see, it's not funny. It's, you know, and men of our age, unless they're nasty pervert people and whatnot, and what, you know what I mean. But like I said, I'm glad you took the time to listen, and it can help. I'm just going to clean memory at the moment. Okay, just give me a second, please.
Hi folks, welcome to the Warhammer. I am leading Starman Detmer, and this, as you've
Yes, men don't like to talk about
is one
that
of the
sort
two
of thing,
barracks
but
on the ship.
unfortunately it is
I know,
a woman's
I know.
nature
You must be
to actually
thrilled to
have
see
to
where
do
Navy
that every
personnel
so
sleep, and
often,
let me
every
be the
month.
first to
Do you
tell
know what I
you,
mean?
it's every
Yes,
bit
it
as
can be
important as
embarrassing
promised.
for a bloke
Javelins
to go
are
through that.
very
So
great
they, do you know what I
when it
mean? They
comes to
won't
sleeping
even talk about it with
arrangements,
their
as
own
they have
wives and
enough bunks
sisters
for
or
the full
whatever,
crew,
because it's
which is
something they
amazing
don't want to talk
because
about because it
they
makes them
avoid
feel sick.
situations known as hot bunking,
But
where
unfortunately,
you
us women do
swap
have
out
to
bunks
go
with
through
somebody
these
on the
things.
opposite shift.
So
and
unfortunately, we do
that
have
is
to go to
horrible.
the toilet, and there should
This
be like
one,
special
down on
bins
my
for
old
the
ship,
like
I
our normal toilets for
shared
those
this
sort
guy
of
who had
things.
just the
So
worst
men
smelling
shouldn't have to
socks.
see any of that.
And I'm talking,
And yes,
you know, the military
if
could
they
have weaponized
do
it kind of bad.
accidentally see
And I had
it,
to try and fall
well,
asleep
hopefully
with
they
that
won't, because there
every
is a
day.
Saniflow
So,
system where it is
yeah, after that,
all
these
cleaned
bunks
up
are
and
a
taken
dream.
away. And secondly,
And
if
I'm
a
just
man
thinking that,
does
obviously, I
accidentally
don't think
wee
my
on the
CEO
seat
would
because
like
they
me talking
don't bother
about
to
how
stick
bad
the
hot
seat
bunking
up,
is. So
it can be quickly wiped
maybe
over
just
because it should be
forget I said
metal
anything.
and it's easily wiped. and
anyway,
everything else.
each one
So
has
yes,
special slots.
we
for
need more
personal
showers,
effects,
more
and is capable
toilets,
of sealing
and we
you up to give you a
definitely
little
need
privacy.
disabled toilets
People are always
for our
moving around the
disabled
barracks.
comrades.
Sleeping schedules shift slightly too, so they can activate the full crew at a moment's notice if the ship enters heavy combat. So you're kind of always sleeping with one eye open. I mean, we get shorter sleep schedules if we are patrolling dangerous space, so, I mean, you're already grabbing sleep when you can, and... Sorry, I am rambling. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not sure what to tell you.
So let's
where we
get on
sleep.
this
Not a whole
and
lot
get
of
more
mystery to it,
toilets, more showers,
but I hope this has been
more
enlightening.
sinks,
Please,
more
look around if you
communal
like,
showers,
but don't touch
because
anything in the
yes,
bunks,
one for
as this
men,
is
one
an
for women,
active
because
ship, and
men
everything in
don't
here
like
is
to
the
see,
property of the crew.
well,
so
should I say, women don't
cool.
want to shower with men, because men can be a bit pervy at times into, oh, I like that, let's have a, you know what I mean? But no, and the same with women, same with men, they don't want to shower with women because they don't want to see them get, yeah. So we'll have one for the men, one for the women, like they do in the armies and everywhere else, like swimming baths and what have you. If it's a couple, then yeah, they're obviously going to want to go, not going to bother about going in the shower together. But if they're singles, then they want a shower for men and a shower for women. So let's make more communal showers rather than singular showers, and let's have more toilets so that you're not in a queue.
Okay, this is ours being a video long. I know it's about an hour, but as you can see, just discussing something like that, it took that long. So I'm going to end this video now, and I'm going to go on my role play. So thank you for taking the time, and Nicholas, thank you for trying to explain it from a female's point of view, because obviously my speech can be not up to your standards, because obviously I'm very difficult to understand. So thank you for listening, everybody, and I'm going to shut this video down now, and I'm going to go back onto my roleplay. It was important I got this done today, because I do believe it's the last day, okay, and the only time I might see this again might be next year. And then if the Javelin's out with these same characteristics, as you know, it costs a lot of money to do little changes, and if it is of any importance, at least you've got the time to look into it, okay? But I was just saying, Chris, you was in Manchester when they first built the Arndale Centre, and if you remember where Tandy's was round the back, they had toilets down there, and look how long they had to queue to use those toilets, and I think you had to pay a little bit to use them in them days, and it was horrible. Well, I was a man, I wasn't affected, but for the women it was difficult. But please remember, you do have to have, I'm not saying you have to have, but obviously people get hurt in the war and whatnot, they do need some kind of disabled stuff for them little things. Remember, we talk about health and safety and hygiene, simple little basics for the crew. You know what I mean? You've heard him talk about hot bunking, but I tell you what, we'll go through the hot bunking situation. He's not allowed to talk about, but we'll go for it. I'll try and activate it again. I won't talk about the entertainment section. That just gives me a headache.
Hi folks, welcome to the Warhammer. I am leading Starman Detmer, and this, as you've probably guessed, is one of the two barracks on the ship. And I know, you must be thrilled to see where Navy personnel sleep, and let me be the first to tell you, it's every bit as exciting as promised. Javelins are pretty great when it comes to sleeping arrangements, as they have enough bunks for the full crew, which is amazing because it avoids situations known as hot bunking, where you swap out bunks with somebody on the opposite shift, and that is horrible. This one time on my old ship, I had to share with this guy who had just the worst smelling socks, and I'm talking, you know, the military. Recognized it. And I had to try and fall asleep with that. every day. So yeah, after that, these bunks are a dream. And I'm just thinking that actually I don't think my CEO would like me talking about how bad hot bunking is. So maybe just forget I said anything. Anyway, each one has special slots for personal effects, and is capable of sealing you up to give you a little privacy. People are always moving around the barracks. Sleeping schedules shift slightly too, so they can activate the full crew at a moment's notice if the ship enters heavy combat, you know. So you're kind of always sleeping with one eye open. I mean, we get shorter sleep schedules if we are patrolling dangerous space, so, I mean, you already grab your sleep when you can. And... Sorry, I am rambling. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not sure what to tell you. This is where we sleep. Not a whole lot of mystery to it. But I hope this has been enlightening. Please have a look around if you like, but don't touch anything in the bunks, as this is an active ship, and everything in here is the property of the crew. So, be cool.
Thank you, sir. I must be off now, okay? Bye.
Thank you for everyone watching, and get CIG onto these more showers, more toilets, disabled toilets. Good night and God bless everybody.
All right, let's settle down. My name's Lieutenant Commander Alderman. I run the turret complement aboard the Warhammer. That means I'm in charge of coordinating fire between our various gunners during a combat engagement in order to maximise combat effectiveness. But when we aren't in combat, I strive to keep my team sharp by running through it.
Welcome aboard the UEE Warhammer. As part of this year's INVICTUS celebrations, I'd like to invite you to take a look around and get an up-close look at an active
I hope you all had a nice week or 2 weeks in the INVICTUS week and spent lots of money buying ships. Just need to get a drink.
As part of this year's INVICTUS festivities, take a tour of an active naval destroyer. The UEE Warhammer is currently docked at the station and accepting visitors. Don't miss this incredible opportunity.
Now, at the moment, you have to drink 4 cans of this every 1.5 hours. Now, time's up by 8. I just have to have a drink. Oh.
Passenger Sarah Vallega, please report to flight services. Passenger Sarah Vallega to flight services.
Where did it go?
I think you're going to be happy with that.
Where is it?
Hi, welcome to the
Oh,
store.
I'll do. I think that's a wrap, little miss.